Good evening, all. Chick Miller here, welcoming you back to day 31 of the 77-day video challenge. And I'm going to pick up the story tonight where I left off yesterday. It's August of 2005. Katrina has swept through the state of Louisiana and left the city of New Orleans pretty much underwater. My wife and I are in Augusta at my brother-in-law's house, and we're there. I forgot to mention to you yesterday, my son, who has now become a pastor, is also married and he and his wife Dana have had our first grandchild, Jack Hayden, who I cannot believe is 16 now, about 6'2", just amazing. But I regress. We're looking at the TV and we're realizing pretty shortly that we've lost pretty much everything we own. We've got the clothes on our back, the vehicle we drove up in, and whatever money we had in the bank that we can access through a bank card. But pretty much everything in New Orleans is gone. Have you ever heard the statement that disaster brings out the worst in people? No? What about disaster brings out the best in people? Well, I'm here to tell you that both of those are true, and that disaster proved that to me. As you might imagine, things were pretty hectic for a while in Augusta. We didn't know which way to turn. We were trying to figure out how to deal with FEMA and the insurance company, and those were difficult things to deal with. My son and his wife and my brand new grandson had evacuated to Texas, and they're in Texas. We're in Augusta. Our daughter is with us, at least for a while. And things on the outside look pretty bleak. But for some reason, we're managing okay. And then one Wednesday night, as I look around, I said to my wife, Jackie, I said, we've got to find a church. We've got to go find a church to go to tonight, some people to pray for us, people to pray with us. And so we went to a church that was close to my brother-in-law's house, Martinez Baptist, Martinez Community Church. And it's a Wednesday evening, and we go in, and we don't tell anybody that we're from New Orleans and make a big deal out of it. We go in, but as people begin to talk to us, they figure it out. And we're there. It's a wonderful service. We enjoy it greatly. And at the end of the service, as we're leaving, the pastor comes up and he puts out his hand and shakes my hand. And when he shakes my hand, there's an envelope in it. I don't think anything. I stick the envelope in my pocket and I walk out. As my wife and I get in the car, I pull it out and I look. And let me just say, there's a sizable amount of money in this envelope. And I began to cry from joy. We hadn't asked these people for this. They just gave it to us. We went back to my brother-in-law's that night, and 2 days later, the pastor calls me and says, can you and Jackie come by the church? I want to talk to you. And at this point, we're staying with my brother-in-law, and there's about 10, 12 people in the house. It's getting a little crowded, but we're getting along fine. And we go and we sit in his office across his desk, and he reaches in his desk, and he pulls out a set of keys. And I'm like, what is that? He said, these are the keys to your house. And Jackie and I both were just awestruck. Like, what are you talking about? He said, we happen to have a house that the church owns. And as a congregation, we've decided that we're going to let you guys live there rent-free for the first 3 months. And then if you decide to stay, we'll work something out. And Jackie and I are just blown away at the kindness of these people. We go get in a car and we drive over to the house, And we open the door, and it's not just a house, it's a fully furnished house. Kitchen set, sofa, dressers, beds, bed. There's 2 bedroom home. The bed, a double bed, king size bed for my wife and I. There's a bedroom for my daughter. We open the closets, and there's clothes in the closets. There's food in the pantry. Cable TV is up and running. Disaster, in this case, brought out the best in people. The reason I'm telling you this is because what looked like disaster was an exercise, an opportunity for Jackie and I to hone in on gratitude. Gratitude to our God, gratitude to these people, gratitude for the way people treated us. It didn't end there. We would go out to a restaurant to eat, and they would find out we were from New Orleans, and they wouldn't allow us to pay the bill. It just went on and on and on. I think what I'm trying to say to you is, even when things look darkest and bleakest, God has not forsaken you. The world around you has not forsaken you. Hold on to that hope. I'm going to continue this story tomorrow night, one day at a time.